All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. 2026 will be worse than 2025 for sure. All right, we see that. And I just wanted to land back off the title of the beloved elder Hawad, GMS North Carolina 777. All right, because we all see it coming. All right. This is Sirach chapter 5 or Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 verse 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and put not off from day to day. All right, all this stuff that's going on in the turn of this so-called new year. And our people are still playing. They're still putting it off. They're still trying not to repent and seek the Lord. You know, Jake don't understand that wrath is headed his way. All right. And put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, come forth. Suddenly, it said. All right. And things are suddenly happening all over the planet as we speak. Suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. All right. And this is what's coming, man. All right. 2026 will be worse than 2025, man. We ain't seen nothing yet. Okay. The Lord has just started the fire, you know? So let's get into it. All right.
This year's 2026 edition, it's not vague, it's not symbolic, it's a straight up forecast for war, collapse, and the elite's managed chaos. What The Economist is telling us about 2026. If you dig past the eerie symbolism on the cover and go straight to the contents inside, a clearer and darker picture starts to emerge. The Economist isn't just warning that 2026 may be a difficult year. They're outlining instability across every major system, economic, political, geopolitical, and they're doing it with the detached calm of someone who's already made peace with the fallout. Let's start with the big one. The collapse of the American dream. 2026 marks America's 250th anniversary, a landmark moment of national reflection. The Economist warns that the year will be defined by widely diverging accounts of America's past, present, and future, signaling deeper fractures rather than celebration. Translation: they're expecting chaos, not celebration, not patriotism, but fracture. They all but say that the great American experiment, at least in its current form, is winding down. And instead of asking, how do we fix this? They ask, who'll take the world's lead afterwards? Is this a new Cold War or something worse? The Economist doesn't dance around this. It asks whether the world is entering a new Cold War, or will a Trump-era deal carve the planet into American, Chinese, and Russian spheres of influence? And if that sounds familiar, it should. It's almost identical to the world right before World War II. It also warns of gray zone warfare, cyber attacks, underwater sabotage, Arctic territorial grabs, tactics that let nations escalate without triggering official war declarations. This is exactly what Russia and China have been doing, testing boundaries, seeing what the world will tolerate. Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel, the Middle East, Venezuela, the South China Sea. Every one of these flashpoints is mentioned or implied. The Economist isn't being alarmist. They're measured and calculated. And what they're basically saying is that continued conflict is likely.
There you go. Right? Plagues, destruction, war. Right? Let me get that real fast. Okay, they're telling you at this point, they're no longer hiding it. All right? But we've been telling you this through the Spirit. All right, this is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 13. 2 Ezra 16:13, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. All right, that's nuclear destruction, man. All right, all nations are preparing for nuclear war. All right, this situation with Venezuela and the bombing of Nigeria and various countries is all going to lead to nuclear fallout. All right, the uproars in Iran. Okay, the situation, the conflict between America, China, and Russia. Okay, it's going to lead to missiles being shot. All right, and the Lord is the one that's orchestrating all of it. Verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. And we're living in that time. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth, all right, which goes into the nuclear destruction. Okay? These days are upon us, all right? Like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that should be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? All right, the prophet Ezra saw, the end times. Okay, and the prophets are back now, prophesying of the end. Okay, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. All right, we're actually seeing these things play out now. The beginning of sorrows, right? This is the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars. All right, Yahushua warned us about that. Okay, he told us to be not deceived. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. All right, but these are the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of wars. He said that the end is not by and by. All right, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear for the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? See, what are you people going to do? All right, because the buildup is great, man. Okay, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Again, nobody's paying attention. Our people are not really paying attention to what's happening. Okay, and we live in a time, the time we live in now, the end, the Lord is only accelerating the prophecies. All right, because we understand that this devil, the Edomites, only have but a short time. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. All right. Again, 2026 will be worse than 2025 for sure. All right.
Economic breakdown. Is a bond crisis coming? Here's where things get even more unsettling. The Economist says wealthy countries, especially the United States, are living beyond their means, and the risk of a bond market crisis is growing. This isn't a fringe opinion, it's a mainstream warning that sovereign debt, the foundation of the global economy, may be on the verge of breaking. They highlight America's massive deficits, growing interest payments, and what they call fiscal illusion fading fast. It's the misconception that you can print, borrow, and inflate forever without consequence, which begs the question, if the bond market breaks, then is the dollar next? And if the dollar breaks, everything changes. They're not just warning about a recession. It's about forecasting the unraveling of a financial order that's existed since the last World War. They also highlight new biotech, cheap weight loss pills, and health surveillance technologies. It sounds innocent enough until you realize how deeply health has become intertwined with politics, behavior, and government compliance. 2 giant syringes on the cover, floating pills everywhere. The symbolism is deliberate and unsettling. They also warn about the AI investment boom, suggesting it may cover up a real economic weakness. When AI takes jobs, when money fails, when people lose faith in everything from the dollar to their medical doctor, what happens? They don't say for sure, but they say you should expect it. They don't just show collapse. They almost seem to endorse it, not through what they said, but through what they've showed and what was left unsaid. This doesn't feel like just a warning. It feels more like an unveiling, as if it's a controlled demolition.
There you go. All right. Let's get into that a little bit here. All right. You can watch the rest of that. All right. But saw this earlier. This came out back in December. It's from Bloomberg.com. Mom and pop businesses bankruptcies hit a record as debts rise. All right. People are, see, these middle class people, small business owners, all right, their businesses are going to the ground, bankrupt. All right. It says a federal program designed to help small American business cut debt and get a fresh start has set a record for the number of cases filed. Court data show more than 2,200 people and small firms filed bankruptcy this year under Subchapter 5 rules, which makes it cheaper and faster to win relief from creditors. All right. Let's go to this too. I'm not going to read all of that. All right. But you get what we're trying to say here. All right. Here's another point on that. dailymail.co.uk. Worrying update on mom and pop bankruptcies shows recession has begun. See that? People are getting their fucking asses kicked. Right? Check this out.
I'm tired of struggling all of my fucking life. Oh my God, fuck. Can life just get fucking easy? Just for like a year, just for a little bit, you think at some point life is just supposed to be like better. You work your fucking ass off at every turn of your fucking life. There's another fucking obstacle. Oh my God, please, please help us all. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, welcome to 2026, man. All right, it's not gonna get better. All right, like you said, what do you say at the beginning? Can it just get easier? What do you say?
I'm tired of struggling all of my fucking life. Oh my God, fuck. Can life just get fucking easy?
Not gonna happen. Isaiah 24 and verse 7. This is in the NLT. Isaiah 24 and 7. The grapevines waste away, and there is no new wine. All the merrymakers sigh and mourn. All right? People are cooked out here, man. Stressed out, ready to give up. You know, call it quits on life. The cheerful sound of tambourines is stilled. The happy cries of celebration are heard no more. The melodious chords of the harp are silent. Gone are the joys of wine and song. Alcoholic drink turns bitter in the mouth. The city writhes in chaos. Everyone home is locked to keep out intruders. Mobs gather in the streets crying out for wine. Joy has turned to gloom. All right, as we just saw from this guy. All right, crashing out. Joy has turned to gloom. Gladness has been banished from the land. It says gladness has been banished from the land. All right. It's nothing to be excited about. All right. There's nothing to rejoice in. I had an article from earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. About where it talked about where did all the fun in America go? Somewhere around the lines. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, we'll just get back to it. I got so many tabs open. But let me see. Bear with me. Where is it at? Nah, I don't have it up anymore. But yeah, it was going into like pretty much establishing what we're reading here about all the mirth in America is done. The entertainment is finished. Nobody's laughing anymore. It was going into all of that. Right? But that's prophecy. Gladness has been banished from the land. Verse 12. All right, verse 12, it says, the city is left in ruins, its gates battered down. And that's getting ready to be the future of Babylon the Great as we know it, America, man. All right, this place is getting ready to be trodden down. Okay, because people are vexed, they're tired. All right, they don't really have the faith as they had in America. The pride of America is gone. All right, the distrust of the leadership is over. All right. So we're actually witnessing the fall, the collapse internally, right? As I always talk about. Let me play this too, just to add some more. Because as we all know that the job market is finished, right? Let's go to this. Where's it at? This is this is from First Post. It says this came out 5 days ago. It says Godfather of AI says 2026 could be the quote job shock year, right?
Remember when they said AI will take all the jobs? Like AI is Thanos. It will snap its fingers and magically all the jobs will disappear. Well, this was a warning we heard too many times this year, and now as the year comes to a close, the warning is back again. This time it's coming from Geoffrey Hinton. He is known for his work on artificial neural networks, basically helped build the very brain that AI thinks with. And that is why he's called the godfather of AI. And now that godfather has a stark warning. Geoffrey Hinton says this is just the beginning. In 2026, more jobs will be lost due to AI, and the wipeout is just getting started.
We're going to see AI get even better. It's already extremely good. It's already able to replace jobs in call centers, but it's going to be able to replace many other jobs.
So Hinton's argument is quite simple. AI was already good, it's only getting better. It has already replaced clerical jobs and now it is coming for others. Because in the coming year, AI will make massive capability leaps. That's what Hinton has predicted. I'll give you an example. There is an AI that writes 60-minute software tasks. Hinton says it will soon be able to handle full projects. That's the sort of leap it will make. And what does that mean for jobs? You need less people to do the same work. If you needed 10 engineers for a task earlier, now you would need only 2. So the prediction is grim. But will it stand the test of time? We ask because of what happened this year. 2025 started with AI integrating in the workforce. Amazon cut tens of thousands of roles, Microsoft laid off people, and so did Salesforce. IBM allowed AI to handle chunks of its HR work, and in October this year, AI-linked layoffs surged to their highest. Globally, 14% workers are affected by artificial intelligence. 14%. They were either displaced or they changed their careers. And 14% is a significant number. It translates to around 375 million workers. Of course, all of them did not lose their jobs. So how many people did? We don't know that yet. There is no combined estimate, but it could be anywhere between 4 to 5 million people. In the United States, 1.9 million people lost due to AI adoption. 1.9 million jobs were lost, rather, due to AI adoption. In China, it was 1.2 million jobs. In India, 650,000 IT service jobs were lost, and so on in other countries.
Yeah, so bottom line is what? No work for Egypt. All right, you can watch the rest of that as well. All right, so I'll mix a couple more points. All right, let's get this too. Okay, I saw this earlier as well from the Gothamist.com. It says New York City's Wegmans is storing biometric data on shoppers' eyes, voice, and faces. All right, so one step closer to the you know what. All right, the MOTB. All right, so we ain't got to read that. All right, we see Wegmans and Whole Foods and many other grocery stores are going to adopt the same type of methods, man, because everything is moving towards this biometric, data, MOTB, infrastructure. All right, this is what 2026 is bringing, man. All right, so wait on it. All right, and my last points here, I want to just put this out here. All right, this is from the iShivaWorld.com. It says Venezuela acting president blames disease for Maduro's capture. Right. So we all and we all understand this. All right, that the tiny tots are behind it all, because I saw earlier that they're getting ready to put a tiny top in office there. All right, they're going to replace Maduro with a tiny top You know, you can look it up. I wish I had to pull it up. It's a woman, actually. All right. So we see it, man. You know, they take out the leaders of countries that don't abide by their agendas, and they put their they put their puppets in there, man. You know, that's really gonna forward the agenda of these tiny tots, right? Here's some more. RT.com, Israeli military ordered to prepare for war on all fronts amid Iranian protests. You see that? So the tiny tops are preparing for war. All right. They're receiving pressure from every side, man. All right. These nations, again, they're standing up, as it tells you in Job. I believe it's 18. Let me get that real quick. This is Job 18 and 15. It says, and it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone should be scattered upon his habitation. All right. The nuclear missiles. It says his root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. Right? He should be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. And that's what's happening, man. Okay, these Edomites are being chased out of the world. The nations are standing up. Okay, they're tired of the pillaging of their lands, the murder, the bombings, right? Like it tells you in Habakkuk 2. Let me get that. All right, we always bring this point out. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, he's everywhere. As we talked about, he was in Nigeria on Christmas, bombing Nigeria. Now he's in Venezuela, bombing Venezuela, taking the oil and the resources and the gold. Right? It's all coming out. Venezuela possessed all those resources and gold, all that, the minerals. This is what they're really in there for. All right. Somebody left a comment on one of the videos talking about, they had to bring liberty to the oil. The oil needed to be freed from oppression. Right? But that's him. Neither keepeth at home who enlarges his desire as hell in his death. See? And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, we get this word for neither keepeth at home. All right? Right? Straight to the lexicon, as we always bring this out. Right? It says, he is a proud man and does not rest, but seeks disturbances in wars, right? This is what's happening. This man is everywhere, bombing shit, invading, all right, taking resources, all right? This is how he moves, right? So it makes sense as we're reading this headline that the tiny tops are preparing for war on all fronts. People want to get at them. People are waking up to who's really in control of things, man. Okay? Let's get that too in Micah real quick before we wrap this up. But the point again is definitely going to get worse. Micah 2 and 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. All right, Esau is showing you that they have the ability, all right, to do what the hell they want to do. Okay? If they want something from a specific nation, they're gonna go in and take it. That's how he moves. All right. Mock House CIA. This is from Reuters. Mock House CIA source and special forces. The U.S. operation to capture Maduro. Okay. Months of planning, including at Pentagon and CIA, more than 150 military aircraft were involved. Maduro and his wife surrendered inside a safe house, and the rest reads on. All right. All this stuff is in the news right now, all over YouTube, all over the media. This is the hot news all over the planet. All right, but this is what they do because it is in the power of their hand. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. This is the characteristics and traits of the Edomites. If they want it, they're going to take it. They're going to invade it. All right, they're going to set up a puppet leader. They're going to take the resources. They're going to bomb the shit out of it. This is him. Woe to the oppressors, man. All right. So the point Again, everybody's waking up. They know who's behind it all. All right, that veil is being lifted off. Isaiah 25 and was it 7? All right, the Lord is removing the covering cast. He's taking away the veil, and people are beginning to see. All right, but the point again, all right, 2026 will be worse than 2025 for sure, man. All right, and people are gonna be just like this. All right, the Lord's just getting started.
I'm tired of struggling all of my fucking life. Oh my God, fuck! Can life just get fucking easy? Just for like a year, just for a little bit, you think at some point life is just supposed to be like better. You work your fucking ass off at every turn of your fucking life. There's another fucking obstacle. Oh my God, please, please help us all. What the fuck is going on?
Man. Ezekiel 7, 25. Ezekiel 7 and 25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Shalom.